Oh man, it's good to be back. Shit, even the YouTube auditor probably missed me these past couple days, telling him to go fuck himself. Now, here's the deal. I mentioned that while I was away, I would see what the internet situation was going to be while I was away. And unfortunately, the internet absolutely sucked. Totally sucked ass. So there was no way I was going to be able to post up all those videos that I mentioned. To give you an idea of how bad it was, I had on tap 2 videos that were about 9 to 10 minutes long in the Hipfire commentary series. At home, a file like that takes about 20 to 30 minutes to upload, depending on how much porn I'm downloading at the time. So when I was away, and I first attempted to post up that video, it said 268 minutes. No shit, 268 minutes, and for those of you who ran out of toes to count on a number that high, that's about 4.5 to 5 hours of fucking waiting time. Fuck that shit. There was no way I was gonna wait around or leave my laptop on for 4 fucking hours just to upload one 9-minute video. Nuh-uh, not happening. Naturally, when I saw that, I ran a speed test and pretty much confirmed what I expected. I had some third world country type internet, man. Holy fucking shit. It was like dial-up in that motherfucker. Probably AOL would have given me a run for my money at that point. You know, at home, I get about 50 and 5 download and upload. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Probably better than a good portion of people out there. So it's good enough speed for the shit that I need to do. While I was away, 2.5 and 0.4. Now, let me say that again. At home, I have 50 and 5. Away, I had 2.5 and 0.4. That's why I couldn't upload a fucking video. So, those that were going to post last week are going to be coming up this week. But oddly enough, that was just enough juice to allow me to play my PlayStation 4 while I was gone. Granted, it wasn't the best connection, but it was good enough to allow me to get some nightly runs and shit that I wanted to complete. Now, the gameplay in the background is not from when I was away. That took place way before I left, when I was going for 500 void kills or whatnot. You'll notice that I have on all void damage. I have a void walker warlock. So I was going all out for the Thorn, which I already have now. And later in this round, you're going to see me go on an absolute tear through this team of idiots. I swear, man, once you put a rocket launcher in my hands, it's game over. Guaranteed, I'm going to get 3 to 4 kills with that joint. But in any event, while playing this fucking game, that triple play trophy or whatever the fuck, that shit was pissing me the fuck off. Clearly, it's another thing that Destiny misinterpreted or just outright lied about. The trophy requires you to kill Titan, Warlock, and Hunter in 1 life. That's it. That's what the requirement says in the description. However, the game made it a requirement as part of the lucky triple kill, because I killed all 3 consecutive players during the little rampage here, and I didn't get shit. No fucking trophy. So clearly, this game has another lying scumbag item that Bungie fucked up on, which at this point doesn't surprise anyone. You don't have to just kill a Titan, Warlock, or Hunter in 1 life. No, 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 no. You gotta do it rapidly. In other words, you have to get the triple play trophy with all 3 of those fucking characters getting killed at the same time. It is total fucking bullshit. Total lie. Completely different from what the description says, because the description doesn't say anything about doing it rapidly. It just says kill them in 1 life. So this is another bunch of bullshit that Bungie fucked up on. Now, before I get into some more Bungie fuck-ups, the one thing I want to mention was that this weekend, I had originally planned on holding my live stream event with 2 raids running back-to-back, guys with the Prestige Gamers and my subscribers. I want to move that to the 2nd week in November, provided there isn't a fucking Destiny event or whatever the fuck is going on. But that seems like the ideal time to move the event. Again, more details will come in the future, but for those of you who are wondering what happened to the event that weekend, it was scheduled before I knew I had to travel, and now I'm rescheduling it for the 2nd weekend in November. But now that I got that out of the way, on to Destiny. In the past few weeks, Bungie ran their mouths again, and this time, it was part bullshit and part decent information. The bullshit item was the fix that seems to be coming up to the raid. I think it was pretty obvious that a fix to Atheon and Templar being pushed off the maps was gonna happen eventually. I mean, you should not beat the 2 bosses in the raid just by pushing the motherfucker off of a goddamn cliff. Personally, my crew did that shit the normal way almost every single time, but in the obvious convenience of time, sometimes we actually push Templar off. I believe we did it 1 time. We haven't done it to Atheon and whatnot. We just fight him normally. But overall, both fights are pretty easy to beat. The hard parts of the fight are actually getting up to the bosses, where you have to actually defend the confluxes or go through the portals and open those shits and whatnot. But the issues that I had with Bungie's announcement was the randomizing of the teleporting team during the Atheon fight. The adjustments hadn't been made as of yet, but it's a really stupid fucking idea on normal difficulty alone. You know, I don't mind that idea for hard difficulty, although hard is already a pain in the ass with the number of things they already jacked up, like the Supplicant's health, no reviving, oracles healing enemies in the portals, detain bubbles, and all that other shit. That's already a challenge. And now they want to randomize the portals. Hard doesn't piss me off as much as normal does, and a big reason for that is players who have not done the raid before are not going to be familiar with all the parts of the Atheon fight. It's one thing for experienced players who most likely played normal a few times before they go into hard mode. That's fine. I don't have an issue with this being done in hard mode. But for first timers, that's a load of bullshit. For people who are only level 26, 27, going through the raid for the first time, that's a real bullshit thing to do to them. Because that doesn't just fuck over the lower level players, that fucks over the main team trying to get through that fight and explain to them all the parts that they need to be aware of, whether or not they get ported or not teleported through the Atheon fight. Meanwhile, the raid itself has some major fucking flaws. The portals will get fucked up every now and then, forcing people to wipe out. The audio portion of the Templar fight goes down. The oracles will sometimes not actually appear, but their sound will chime in. It's ridiculous that errors in this game that cause issues are not fixed, but smart teams using strategy, not cheesing, but actual strategy to beat the final boss with teamwork is frowned upon. I mean, really, what the fuck would be the purpose of organizing your team at that point? Teams who play together usually roll together with a strategy per class, like having the Oracle Shooter being a gunslinger and having a Void Walker to deal with the Minotaur and the portal, while the lowest level person is usually the Column Monkey there to keep the portal open. It's bullshit that changes are being made because players are smart, as opposed to patches to the actual raid because Bungie was incompetent in the first fucking place. Shit, fix the integrity and stability of your game first before altering content, motherfuckers. Now, the second item they announced was actually a good thing, and I actually like it. Changes to the Iron Banner. Now, personally, I don't like the first one because it was a major waste of time. You needed a shitload of hours to invest into it, and I just didn't have the time to be bothered with something that I was only going to half-ass. With all these recent changes, it's a much more appealing event. Reputations being made more accessible, bounties are being toned down, raid gear is not going to be your only gear that gets you up to level 30. The Iron Banner gear will now get you up to level 30. So people don't have to worry about just going into the raid in order to get themselves up to level 30. And I know people are going to say level 30 means nothing, but realistically, people want to be the highest level in this fucking game. Let's be honest. Guns are being altered, and most importantly, the levels seem like they will count this time. Now, the fucked up shit that was in the game before made it feel like any other Crucible. I know when I went in, I didn't feel any different. I was level 28, I believe, on my Titan, or 29, some shit like that. I thought I was going to get my ass handed to me. Granted, I didn't have great games. I pretty much broke even all of my games and shit like that. And I stood back and didn't capture any fucking flags. But the changes that sounds like Bungie's going to make makes the Iron Banner seem a little bit more appealing. I personally don't like PvP, but if I know that I can get some armor that gets me up to level 30, I'm going to try and bust my ass and get that shit. I know that some of those bounties that they had, where it was like get a metal kill streak with the fucking machine gun or whatever the hell, I was like, fuck that bullshit. Just let me win 3 matches or something. That was fucking irritating. I also only played 2 matches, lost both of them, and I got absolutely no reputation, which I thought was sort of bullshit, but at the same time, in any game you play, you at least get a little bit of something, and no, 2 Crucible marks wasn't really worth a fuck, because somebody could always go and get enough spin metal and buy Crucible marks if they really wanted to. So now they're going to have this losing medal or medallion or whatever the hell it is. If you lose the game, you stay all the way to the end, you get a medallion. The next time you win, it seems like they're going to cash in all those points. So to me, I don't mind that idea at all. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea to keep people into the game itself. So for once, Bungie actually listened to their community on how to fix something. However, the problem is, the main thing people have been asking for, mainly more content, mainly the DLC not being a bunch of fucking bullshit, fixes to some of the stability and the connection issues that this game has, they haven't even touched. I mean, we need more content in this fucking game. There's only so many daily missions I can run. There's only so many times I can run the exclusion zone bullshit, or go to the Black Garden, or whatever the fuck, or play the Vex in the goddamn archive. I really don't give a shit about that crap. I like Nightfall. I like the weekly strike. I love the raid, although I do get screwed over every fucking time I go in that bullshit and don't get any goddamn raid gear. However, the content of the game is lacking. I'm tired of scanning shit. I'm tired of having that ghost pop up, scan a motherfucker, only to have enemies pop out. I need to kill them in order to advance in the goddamn game. It's fucking annoying. And the only way we're gonna get more content is to actually pay for that bullshit. But in any event, fixing Atheon and Templar is the right thing to do. Fixing the Iron Banner was definitely the right thing to do, because that shit definitely needed some work. I know they said they're gonna work on the Queen bounty, whatever the fuck, but they could just get rid of that shit. Oh man, I ain't gonna get into it. But randomizing the teleport on normal is bullshit. I don't mind it for hard, but on normal, that's a big fucking idea that people are not going to like. So eventually people are going to bitch about that. They'll probably revert back to the normal way. But in any event, now that I'm back, going to have some more Destiny videos for you guys. But obviously this week I'm going to post up those 2 hipfire commentary videos. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video.